And Emma, the woman I'm dressed as, was half Welsh and half Scots. Her dad was Scottish. And Mum was still alive in a sanatorium in Wales. And Dad, in order to survive and be allowed to stay at Fort Kamloops, took a Kamloops woman as a wife. But when Emma met him, she would have her own cultural and education opinions. And you were taught that mixing blood might be dangerous. And all their children, they had already had children. Emma meets Dad instantly. They hated each other because they judged each other on their judgment of each other. So when she met Mr. Newton, it was at Fort Victoria where she had just had a fight with her dad. She had never met her dad before. So she'd been educated in Montreal and came over to meet her dad. Mum was ailing in a hospital in Wales. And Dad kicks her out of the house in Victoria, tiny little town at the time. And she meets Billy. Billy was from Kent, England, and he was an agricultural specialist for the farming on the new colony of Vancouver Island. They were a British colony. So apparently it was at a hall, just like we were just in, and there was a piano in the hall at Fort Victoria. And she was playing, and he and a group of gentlemen were singing with other ladies that were single, and sparks flew. I always tell this because, yes, we had arranged marriages here, and many of those marriages were kind of catching someone's eye and then asking permission, right? So you did have a bit of a sparkle. Others, nope, matched according to rank. And most of those marriages, in fact, about 99% of them, the people are laid to rest in the cemetery side by side now, right in town. Because you learned that you had to work as a team, and you actually ended up really loving and cherishing that person that you might not have romantic sparks with, right? Whereas this couple did. And he ended up working himself to death here at the fort. So I know a lot of people come in and say, oh, these are rich people, and we get that all the time. But this man made as much as the boat builder made, the first apartment in the next building on the left, because you were considered a servant to the company. Whereas the officer, the man in charge, was paid a lot more, but he'd worked his way up too. So this song was written during the gold rush that we just talked about. If you two want to sit down, you might be tired too. There's a couple of seats, okay? And if you like to sing, I always like you to join me because I grew up in a family that sang every time we could. So the story kind of speaks for itself. And if you were coming from every place that we just talked about that you were born in, which is where?
No, I was born in Argentina.
New Zealand?
Argentina.
Argentina?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, lots of people came from South America for this gold rush. Hello, my dear. And?
England.
England? Which part?
London.
London. So.
Excuse me.
Yes. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. And afterwards or during, please feel free to browse around, and just before you touch something that looks like it might be old, we can chat about that afterwards. Pick it up. All right. This piano belonged to one of those Royal Engineers in the painting there. Where mighty waters fall and boil, and rushing torrents roll, on Fraser River's northern soil lies hid the golden ore. Far from home, on Fraser River's shore, we labor hard here in Chilliwack. Mrs. Newton would just be beside herself that you people spoke English. And you know, you think about the people here at the fort besides her husband that spoke English. Oh, don't. You're starting to tear up. Don't. Not this time of day. I always go and hug people. But she would be so lonely. She would, you know, if you've read Jane Austen or anything like that, was taking a turn about the room with me, just for your exercise as a lady. And she would open the windows and sing and play to sort of send that communication out. Scottish jig or an Irish reel, right? Just, oh, and it would just probably break the men's hearts as they're working away. But you had that one connection, regardless of your language and your culture and your status, right? So you would just simply have the bedroom for the couple, nice little matrimonial bed, and your guest room, and that later became their children's room, and they did have 3 daughters. So life got a lot better for Mrs. Newton. But like I said, he passed away quite young, 43, and she went back to Fort Victoria with her daughters, and not too long, about 4 years afterwards, remarried and ended up living in the next valley up from here, which is ironic because she probably didn't really like it too much here, too many memories of hardship at the beginning. So do you have any questions or something you want to